Hi there, Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre, talking to you today about the Oneill Reactor range of wetsuits for summer 2016. So the Oneill Reactor, the Reactor series, has been around for quite a while now, quite a few years, and it's basically an entry-level or a cheap wetsuit within the Oneill range. It's not available in wintertime, it's strictly a summer wetsuit, and the reason for that is the construction of the suit doesn't lend itself well to a winter wetsuit because it's got breathable seams which will let in water, and that's no good in a winter wetsuit. You're just going to get cold. So it's a summer style wetsuit, and it comes in many different styles. So you've got the shorty, you've got short arms, you've got the full suit, and you did used to have a convertible wetsuit, which I still think they might do, but we're not doing this year. And then it comes for men's, ladies and kids as well. So the Reactor's called the same thing throughout the whole sort of the whole range basically. The ethos of the suit, or the principle of the suit, is that it's a decent quality wetsuit made using real neoprene, good strong seams, good construction. They fit really great. They're really probably the best fitting wetsuits within this sort of range for most people we find, and most of all, they're affordable. For 2016 there has been a leap up in price. I say leap, but it's been more of a jump up in price by sort of £5 to £10 depending on which suit that you're buying, and basically this has just come down to sort of world economics basically, and sort of transportation of the suits, the materials, that kind of thing. It's forced the price up a little bit to make it more profitable and make it actually sort of a viable proposition for Oneill. So the Reactor, if I talk you through the suit, this is sort of an example. You've got the kids' short arm wetsuit here. This particular suit is 2mm all over, which was basically, actually I'm lying, the 2mm suit is the spring suit with the which is the shorty. This is a 3-2. Okay, so this and the full suit is a mix of two weights of neoprene. When we sort of say 3 and 2, that means basically the millimetre thickness of the wetsuit. So in the lower body you've got 3mm thick and 2mm in the upper body. Now in the UK the water temperature doesn't really get up above sort of 19 degrees in summertime. That's usually the sort of what it tops out at. And in the springtime it starts at about, sort of 12 degrees, 11 degrees, and works its way up. A 3mm wetsuit, a full wetsuit, is going to be good, really, from, I'd say, maybe the very last part of May into June, and then July, August, September. I think it'll be the key months where you can wear a good quality 3-2. With a wetsuit, the more money that you spend, obviously the more higher quality the neoprene's going to get. You're going to get sealed seams and you're going to get thermal lining. So with a good quality 3-2 you might be able to wear it longer. But a suit like this which has got breathable seams and isn't as high spec, then you're probably going to be wearing this from June through to September. Okay, but 3mm thickness on the lower body, 2mm on the upper body. They thin it out a little bit to give you a bit more flexibility around your shoulders and a bit more movement. With the shorty wetsuits, so with the wetsuits which have got short arms and legs, they tend to be 2mm all over. Nice and straightforward, and obviously a shorty wetsuit is going to be for the key summer months where the water's nice and warm, or maybe with sports that you're going to be out of the water a bit longer. If you're surfing in a 2mm wetsuit, like a shorty wetsuit in the UK, you're probably really only going to be looking to use it for maybe like half an hour to an hour before you might get a little bit chilly, depending on how much you're moving around. But a full wetsuit is ideal for the UK conditions, and a wetsuit like this you can be able to use for the key summer months. So when we're talking about the construction of the suit, I'll grab the kids' full suit here. We're saying 3-2 in terms of the weight of the neoprene. The other thing that's worth bearing in mind is the quality of neoprene. Now when you're spending money on a wetsuit, you have got the option of obviously the TWF, the supermarket style wetsuits, okay? Now these are ones you kind of get in the petrol station, $9.99 for a kid's wetsuit and that sort of stuff. Now it's basically made using a different material. It's not actually neoprene, it's basically what we call vulcanized rubber. So it's basically melted rubber which is made into a suit shape, and then you just basically put it on. The downside of that is because it's got no air within the neoprene, it's not infused with air, doesn't have the bubbles giving it the stretch, doesn't have the insulation properties, and it's very, very non-stretchy and very abrasive. So if you actually pick up one of those style wetsuits, they're really stiff, they feel like they've been starched, and they're very abrasive, and the shape of them is really poor as well because it's made using a very simple template, so they very occasionally fit very well. But they are an option if you just want it for day use, but yeah, don't expect much from those sort of style of wetsuits. This particular wetsuit is using the cheaper neoprene within the Oneill range, but it's what we call fluid flex neoprene. Okay, so it is still infused with gas and air, basically to get inside the rubber to create those little bubbles which give it the flexibility and give it that softness to the touch, and give it the comfort and the insulation to actually trap heat as it leaves your body. So you get what you pay for, basically, and so this is being a slightly more higher spec wetsuit than those petrol station style wetsuits will feel a lot better. And a lot more attention is paid to the shape of the wetsuit and the placement of the seams. So you'll find if you picked up one of these suits, this is a kid's one, say for an age 12, this is going to be nice and slim to hug to the child's body, the length will be a bit better and it will feel better because all of the seams are thought about to make sure that there's nothing under the arms, over the shoulders, and it gives it lots of flexibility, so it will just feel a lot better when it's on. So that's definitely a big benefit with these style of suits, and it's the same for the men and the ladies as well. The ladies are shaped a bit different to obviously match the shape of a woman. The seams themselves are flat lock construction, and what I say when I mean flat lock is basically two pieces of neoprene butted up together and then just stitched the whole way through. That just gives it a really strong bond between the neoprene. It means it's not going to pull apart, but it does mean it's breathable seam, which means that water can trickle in through these little holes. Not very fast, but it will come through, and then that basically will come into the wetsuit. But the neoprene will still do a good job to keep you warm. Obviously, if you want a more high-spec wetsuit, you'll be after the GBS or glued and blind stitch seams on a wetsuit. You get this smooth piece of neoprene on the front and around the kidneys, around the back of the wetsuit. And basically what that is when they make a block of neoprene, this is kind of in effect like the crust, the top layer. And it's really good at repelling wind, so it'll keep the wind off the chest and off where all your organs are, so it keeps you a bit warmer, keeps your blood warmer and keeps you in the water for longer. So they use that strategically through the suit. So you get that sort of around the chest and around the kidneys as well. You get a good quality neoprene as well. Again, on those cheaper wetsuits you don't really get that, this sort of Duraflex material which is very strong on the knees. You get just basically like a piece of gum over the top which doesn't actually do much to protect the wetsuit, whereas this material is really good, really strong, and if you're learning to surf and you're using your knees a lot, they do tend to wear through, so this material is really good at stopping that happening. It's an adjustable collar, and on the inside of the collar you get the smooth material, and that's really fantastic at creating a good bond with your skin and stopping flush throughs, but it's also really good at stopping any kind of rash or rub. So that's really important to have, especially with the kids' wetsuits. And then you get the lanyard, so you can undo and do it up yourself, and a nice long back zip. Just open the suit nice and wide, so it's easy to get in and out of. Then you get that flap underneath the zip to stop any water coming in against your skin. Okay, so essentially, if you look at the sort of seam placement on the suit, everything's thought about as well. Nice big pieces of neoprene, angled seams to give flex through the whole suit. So everything basically is thought about with this suit, and it's priced really well to make sure that it's affordable to most people. So the Reactor series, this is the ladies one, tends to be for people that are going to not want to spend too much money on a wetsuit, but they are going to be using it quite frequently, and they want a decent quality wetsuit without spending too much money for the summer months. If you want to spend a little bit more and get a sealed wetsuit, which is going to allow you to give you more time in the water, more flexibility and more value for your money, then you might think about the Epic, which is the next one up from this, and other suits with a GBS seam. But if this is sort of like suits what you want to do, then I definitely recommend the Oneill Reactor series for summer 2016.